Be Wealthy and Smart, episode 315.
Step into a world of wealth and financial freedom without budgets, boredom, or bosses on Be Wealthy and Smart. And now, here's your host, Linda P. Jones.
Welcome to Be Wealthy and Smart. I'm Linda P. Jones, America's Wealth Mentor, empowering women and men worldwide to financial freedom. On today's show, I'm going to show you how to avoid a common financial mistake because 59% of Americans are making this big personal finance mistake, according to Matthew Frankel at Motley. But first, if you're a new listener, please hit the subscribe button. And this episode is sponsored by Audible. It's a way I read more books and stay ahead of the curve. Audible is, of course, the easiest way to read books because all you have to do is just listen, like you are right now. There are over 150,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player, and your first audiobook is free. Just visit audibletrial.com/Be Wealthy and Smart. That's audibletrial, audibletrial.com/Be Wealthy and Smart. Today I've been broadcasting from lovely Las Vegas, where I'm here to see a singer friend of mine sing a tribute to Whitney Houston. So I'm excited to go to the concert tonight. And the rain has stopped and the sun has come out, so I'm really looking forward to that. Well, this was an interesting article, and it really caught my eye because anytime I hear that a lot of people are making the same mistake, I want to share it with you and make sure that you're not making that mistake. Here's what the article says. Only 41% of Americans check their credit reports more than once per year, according to a new nationally representative survey of 1,000 people by personal finance website WalletHub. However, the same report also found that 84% of Americans think correctly that they should check their credit reports more often. If you're among the nearly 6 in 10 Americans who checks their credit report just once per year or not at all, here's why you should consider checking it more often. Checking your credit report regularly can help you detect identity theft is the first reason. Perhaps the biggest reason to check your credit report often is to be able to quickly detect identity theft. Since many people get their FICO credit score for free from one of their credit card issuers, you might think that's enough and you'll be able to notice any suspicious activity by an unexpected drop in your score. That's not necessarily true, the article says. Let's say a thief opens a credit card in your name and begins using it to make purchases. The application for credit and the new account itself aren't likely to drop your credit score all by itself. Well, maybe it will, maybe it won't. But instead, the big drop in your credit score comes a couple of months later when a statement has been issued on the fraudulent account and the payment is already late. The article goes on to say, on the other hand, by looking at your credit report, you could spot this fraudulent activity simply by spotting a credit inquiry that you didn't recognize, which generally hits your credit report just a day or two after the thief applies for credit in your name. For this reason, it's important to regularly scan your credit report for accounts and inquiries you don't recognize, as well as social security numbers and names of co-borrowers that you don't know. By monitoring your credit report, you can place a freeze or fraud alert on your credit, investigate the suspicious information, and take actions such as filing an identity theft report before more serious damage can be done. I just want to stop here for a minute and say there was news over the weekend that the Equifax reporting agency was hacked, and a lot of personal credit information was stolen. So this could be even more important to you today to check your credit more often and make sure no one is applying for credit under your name because your social security number may have been compromised or other personal data about you may have been compromised. And so it's important to keep a handle on it and make sure that people aren't applying for credit in your name. According to a study by the Federal Trade Commission, about 26% of consumers find potentially material errors on at least one of their 3 credit reports. To be fair, not all errors on credit reports have the potential to change your credit score, such as misspellings and incorrect addresses, but many do. In fact, the study determined that most of the consumers who found errors had their credit report successfully modified as a result of the dispute process, and 13% of all consumers, half of those who found errors, experienced at least one credit score change. Since a higher credit score could make it easier to get a loan and save you money and interest, it's certainly worth checking for errors regularly. If you happen to find errors such as a payment that was incorrectly reported as late, an open credit account mislabeled as closed, or other credit score affecting errors, you might be pleasantly surprised at the potential effect of fixing them. I just want to pause here and say there are 3 credit reporting agencies, and so you do have 3 different sources of credit reports. And it is very common to have errors on your credit report. Sometimes it's a simple thing like having a common name like Jones and having another Linda Jones be erroneously on my credit report, which actually happened to me years ago when my husband and I were refining our house. We found that some other Linda Jones had been attached to my credit report. So once we were able to prove that that was not me, then we were able to get that off my credit report. So you do want to check and make sure there aren't errors or fraudulent activity going on your credit report. The article goes on to say, another good reason to check your credit report is that it can be done for free. Many people are familiar with the law that allows you to obtain a free copy of your credit report from each bureau once per year at annualcreditreport.com. That's annualcreditreport.com, where you can go to get your free credit report once a year from each bureau. So that's 3 free credit reports a year. So since you get 3 free credit reports per year, if you did it every 4 months, that would at least cover you for the entire year for free. The article goes on to say, you're also entitled to a copy if you're turned down for credit because of information in your report. In addition, several websites offer truly free credit reports, but there are a few caveats. Wallet Hub, for example, offers truly free credit monitoring and updated credit reports, but it's important to mention that they are solely based on just TransUnion data, one of the 3 credit bureaus. Even so, new accounts are typically reported to all 3 credit bureaus fairly quickly, so a service like this should let you detect identity theft quickly. End of article. So I'm just going to suggest that you do check your credit at least 3 times a year. Use all 3 of those free credit checks that you have available to you, especially now that one of the major agencies, Equifax, has been compromised. So you want to be checking your credit and monitoring that there aren't mistakes, aren't errors, isn't illegal activity going on in your credit, and that way you won't be one of the 59% of Americans who are making that big personal finance mistake, according to this article. I will leave a link to this article on the show notes and also on my website, and it will have a link to annualcreditreport.com, that free site that I mentioned that you can go to 3 times a year for free credit reports. Hey, have you heard I'm having a summer giveaway through the end of September, and you could win 6 awesome prizes. 5 Wealthy Mindset Blueprint audio courses worth $197 each that shows you how millionaires think and how you should think before you make your first million, or one of my wealth journals where you learn the 6 steps to wealth, and I have the wealth mini course as well, valued at $67. Here's all you need to do. Just leave a review for the podcast on iTunes, or if you have an Android, leave it on Stitcher Radio. That's STITCHER radio.com at Be Wealthy and Smart. Like my Facebook fan page at facebook.com/Linda P. Jones fan page. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Linda P. Jones, and then send me a quick email and let me know you did it at lpjhome@gmail.com. All names will be dropped in a hat, and a drawing is going to be done in early October for winners. And if you'd like to get your financial freedom moving along quicker, get my 11 quick financial tips to boost your wealth. There are 11 quick things anyone can do to get to financial freedom sooner. It's at lindapjones.com. That's all for today. Until next time, live the good life and be wealthy and smart.
Thank you for listening to Be Wealthy and Smart with Linda P. Jones. Share the wealth and tell your family and friends about the show. check out our website, blog, and social media for more riches at www.bewealthyandsmart.com.